So what was it that got you into wine? What was it that made you go from being a kid from Ohio and then, playing sports? You don't have a lot of time to, I'm assuming you don't have a ton of time to study and drink and do that stuff while you're doing this.
A good amount of time to drink.
Yeah. Okay.
My wife introduced me to wine in college, and I wasn't a big fan of it. Maybe it's because of the low-level Merlot we were drinking.
Okay.
Maybe it was because of the budget. Maybe it was
Poor Merlot never gets a break.
Maybe it was the lack of experience we had in choosing wines and like figuring out what to pair it with. There was probably a multitude of reasons why I didn't enjoy it, but as I became more exposed to it, as I continued to pursue her, as I continued to learn and grow, get drafted by the Portland Trailblazers, move to Oregon, get out to Willamette Valley, Dundee, et cetera, as I started doing wine tasting, I realized this was something that I wanted to be a part of. The piece associated with being in a vineyard, something that it feels unmatched.
In what way? What do you mean?
Like when you're out at the vineyard, first of all, there's no traffic. Everyone seems to be happy. It's families. You can bring your dog depending on where you're at. Charcuterie, you have all those things. You can order food depending on where you're at. But I think the peace and tranquility of just being outside, with nature or in a tasting room, the history behind the bottle, the bottle making process, and then the farm to table process, if you will, from the grapes to the barrels to the bottle. I think everything about it it was fascinating to me, and it was something like as an athlete, like you pursue things, right, and you fall in love with the process of working. This was something in which the knowledge just felt like I will never truly know everything about wine, but you just thirst for more knowledge on different types of wines, the taste profile, how it's made, and the next thing you know, I'm in the cellar, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., going through, tasting notes with winemakers, like, what do you taste in this? What types of wine should I be trying? Starting with Merlot, then I went to Pinot. Chardonnay.
Pretty generous place, honestly. People want people to learn. I find this, I wonder if it was like this for you. When I got into wine, and again, the reason it's important, we have very different backgrounds, but we're both from a place where, it's not like we grew up in San Francisco where Napa was right there or something like that. So we grew up in Ohio, and I will never forget going to these places and how generous people were for wanting to show me